Hello friends, let's look at some more important functions of Excel, which are count, min-max, Sumproduct, which I find it very useful, and DSUM. Before we begin, one important tip: you can download this workbook which we are using from the link given in the description box, as well as you can check the suggestion link. You can use this sheet later for your practice and for future revision. Let's begin. The first function is count and count A. Basically, we are just counting the number of cells in which there are values or there is text. Let's look at example. So let's say we want to count in how many cells the values are present, right? So since these are not numbers, these are text, we are going to use function as is equal to count A, open the brackets, select the range C5 to C8, close the bracket, enter. So 4. So there are 4 cells in which there is text. Now if you delete any cell, it will automatically change. And similarly, if we want to find in how many cells there is value present, so it will be just count without A because it is numbers and not text. Count the number of cells in which there is values in this range. So count range, enter. So it is 4. Correct? Simple. And same you can do this here and just select the horizontal range. Perfect. Let's look at min, max, large and small. So very straightforward. Here is an example. If in this particular range we want to find out the maximum number, so nothing, we'll just type max, select the range, close the bracket, enter. So the maximum number which is there in this particular range is 425. Correct? So that is what is reflecting here. Minimum number, again same, is equal to min, open the brackets, select the range, close it, enter. So minimum number is 100. Similarly for large, if we want to find the 10th largest number in this particular range, so we'll type large, open the brackets, select the range, and then the number which we are looking for. If we are looking for the 10th value, we'll type 10 here, close the bracket, enter. So 275 is the 10th largest number in this particular range. Similarly, if we want to find the 10th smallest number, is equal to small, select the range, comma, 10, close the bracket. So 300 is the 10th smallest number in this particular range. And same goes for rank. If we want to find a rank of a particular number, so let's say is equal to rank of 300 in this range, and then order. Do we want the rank in the ascending order or the descending order? So you can select 0 for descending and 1 for ascending. So 0, close the bracket, enter. So the rank of 300 is 8. Simple. Next, Sumproduct. Now I find this particular function very useful and very important. Basically, it sums the numbers on the basis of multiple criterias. Let's have a look at an example. Let's say we have this particular data wherein we have name, months, sales and profit. Okay. And let's say if I want to find what is the sum of Tim's sales in January. So Tim is here, right? And I want his sales in Jan. And Tim is also here. But I want only Tim's sales in the month of January. So basically I'm looking at these two numbers, right? I want sum of this. We are going to type is equal to Sumproduct, open the bracket. So now what is Excel doing? Excel is asking me to give an array. Array is nothing but your range, right? So we are looking at this range. So select your range C5 to C17. And what are we looking in this particular range? So we are looking at Tim, correct? So give a condition is equal to, and since it is a text, you mention it in inverted commas, Tim. You can also select the cell wherein Tim's name is there and you can freeze it so that it doesn't move when you're copying this particular formula somewhere else. So I have given my first condition, close the bracket. Now for the second condition, I'll put multiplication sign, again open the bracket. My second condition is I want month, right? So again select the range. Now very important, the range should be similar to the first column. So if you have selected C5 to C17, you have to select D5 to D17. You cannot select D4 to D14 or whatever. So it should match with the previous columns which we are selecting. Now in this particular range, we are looking for value Jan. All right, close the bracket. Again, multiplication sign, and we want the sum to be done in this particular range, E5 to E17. So again, put this into brackets. Now the whole thing, we have to keep it in parentheses. So open and close one more bracket for the function and press enter. So it is 525, exactly what we were looking at. Correct? So whenever you are looking for sum on the basis of multiple criteria from different columns, then you can use this particular formula. One more example. So let's say if we want to find the weighted average from amount and interest rate, what we need to do is just is equal to sum product of this range and then comma, then this range. So it will just multiply these two columns for you and provide you the answer. So you don't need to individually multiply each cell. You can just do it by selecting the range. Let's look at DSUM. You can say a modified version of Sumproduct. So basically, it is very similar to Sumproduct. The data is similar in this particular case. Now over here, let's say if we want to find in the month of Jan, what were Kim's total sales, which were over 200. So for DSUM, what we do is basically we prepare a criteria box separately. So we copy this headings and we paste it here, and then we can give our condition whatever we want here. So let's say if I want Ram's sales, I can mention Ram, I can mention Jan, and whatever, if I want sales over 200 and any condition I want in the month of Jan, or I want it in the month of June, or I want the profit numbers. So I can mention my conditions here, correct? Now in this particular case, what we want is, we want Kim's sales in the month of Jan, which is greater than 200. So I have prepared my criteria box. Now what I do is equal to DSUM. Then I'll select this entire range including the headers, correct, comma, then where I want the addition to be done in the sales column. So I'll select sales column, that is E25, comma, and then I'll select my criteria box, that is C25 to F26, and press enter. So it will give me the answer. Now again, if I change any values here, let's say Tim, so the value will change. So you can modify your criteria from here directly. You can find more information from the official website of Microsoft Excel by visiting these links. Do check out our next video. Also, please visit our website for more information. Subscribe to our channel. We wish you a very happy learning. Thank you.